Hi, this is Trey. This is Paul on this channel. Excuse me. I want to do a spoilers review of Lost in Space. I saw the 10 episodes over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That was 10 episodes on Netflix. Okay, this is, I guess, a reboot of the TV series. I'm not going to try to go too long with this, but I do want to talk spoilers in this. Okay, of course, this stars, if you're a fan of the original series, this stars the Robinson family. Father John Robinson Marine, daughter Judy, daughter Penny, son Will Robinson, and you have Don West, who was on the show, and then of course there's Dr. Smith. Okay, in this version of it, you have Toby Stevens as John Robinson, you have Molly Parker as Maureen Robinson, and you have Taylor Russell as Judy Robinson, Amina Sudwell as Penny Robinson, Maxwell Jenkins as Will Robinson, and you have Parker Posey as Dr. Smith. Okay, and I'll get into exactly her character. Anyway, this takes place 30 years into the future, where I think there's an incident that happens that basically the Earth is dying, and so man has to colonize off-world, and they have a process where you get tested, and if you pass the test, you get to go off-world and colonize a new planet. Okay, and the Robinsons, of course, get selected. Okay, this family, seems like a typical family, except there's dysfunction in their family and stuff. The father is a soldier who's off away on a lot on missions and stuff. Mother's a rocket scientist, literally, and the kids are overachievers. You have the oldest daughter, Judy Robinson, played by Taylor Russell. She's studying to be a doctor, so she's the medical expert in the family. And then you have middle daughter Penny Robinson, played by Mina Sudwell, who's classic middle child, you know, envious of the older daughter, of the oldest daughter, who she thinks is like almost too perfect. And then you have young Will Robinson, who's fascinating, really smart, but he's also at the same time kind of reserved and nervous. He gets nervous under pressure. Okay, and then of course you have Dr. Smith, played by Parker Posey. Okay, and like I said, there's an incident that happens. They're on their way. It opens up with them on their way to the new world. Okay, when an incident happens on the mothership, that's all the Jupiters are launching from. And in this one, it's different because there's not just one Jupiter. The Robinsons one. There's a bunch of different Jupiters that are colonizing, and when they're taking off, there's an incident that happens, and you know, and they basically get waylaid and crash land. All these Jupiters on different parts of the planet. Okay, and that's where they get lost in space. Okay, and the family basically has to survive and struggle on this planet, this unnamed planet with its hidden dangers and stuff. Okay, now again, what I liked about this, I think the casting was really good in this. I thought Toby Stevens and Molly Parker, they were believable as this couple that has this, they have this history, and there's an estrangement there, and you can tell because they flash back at scenes for them, their incidents, follows away all the time, most of the time, and the mother kind of resents that, and of course the kids, they love their father, but they also resent him being away, at the same time, and of course you have Dr. Smith, Parker Posey, whose character, they changed her gender. Let's be honest with her, but in this version of it, they actually have her be a con artist, and what she does is her sister, uh, her real name is June Harris, and her sister uh, is supposed to be the one to go off and on this mission. But of course, uh, Parker Posey's character is a kind of con artist, and she kind of adapts to any situation. And she basically ties sister up and takes her identity and goes onto the ship to go, to try to get a fresh start somewhere else. And and her character is this. She's really slick in this way that she's adaptable, that she adapts to the situation. And even when because when that incident happens on the mothership, where all the Jupiters launch from, she actually steals the identity of the real Dr. Smith, who's played by Billy Mummy. I recognize you. She steals his identity and she becomes the Dr. Smith. Okay, and she escapes when everybody's fleeing on the Jupiters and stuff. She jumps on one of them that crash lands. Okay, and then you also have the character of Don West, played by Inicio Sachuria, who I really liked. His character, he's an engineer, but he's also a bit of a con man himself, or a salesman. He's one of those guys, sort of a Han Solo type, the guy that will do anything to make a buck and stuff. And he interacts with the family, down the line, not initially, but and this, but down the line he does interact with the family, specifically with the Judy Robinson's character. Okay, I guess just like the show, but this character Don West is kind of, I think he's kind of older than her, but you can tell they have this banter back and forth. But what I really like, and I know a lot of people had issues, or I've heard at least that some people have issues with the way they're portrayed, that they think that the females are dominating the show and then that the males take a backseat. But I don't think that's totally true. I think it's still primarily about Will Robinson. This show, which the original was about, you don't have that much Dr. Smith and Will Robinson uh, interaction. Though you do have a lot of it, and a lot of it is he does get manipulated a lot by Parker Posey's Dr. Smith character. Okay, but I like the dynamic between the father and the mother, and the father and the kids. Okay, and I like the interaction. You get to see over that period of time, these characters, their family dynamic. And the one good thing, I think Judy Robinson says it, that I think she even says it in the trailer, that the Robinsons stick together, even though you can tell that there was going to be kind of a splitting up of the family, but they do come back together again over this course of, through the dangers and the challenges that they face. They face death and dying, and literally there's incidents where the family is put at risk, their lives are at risk. And I like the way they introduced the robot character. Now I think in the original the robot was on the ship, he was part of the, that went along on the mission, and then he got corrupted by Dr. Smith. But in this show, the robot plays a key part. He actually is the one that actually causes the incident on the big, I forgot what they call the big mothership, but he's the one that actually caused, and of course, so naturally the other people are worried of him. But young Will Robinson, he actually discovers him when he gets lost on the planet, and he actually gets the robot to actually, he teaches the robot things, and the robot actually responds to him, and he basically, the robot speaks to him, and he, of course, utters that famous line, "Danger, Will Robinson," and I like, their relationship. And of course, like I said, Parker Posey as Dr. Smith, her character is just like, you can tell that she's one of these con artists that adapts to the situation, and that's what her character does. And I think Parker Posey, you always know she's scheming, because she's constantly manipulating things, manipulating the kids, manipulate other Jupiter survivors, and exactly trying to manipulate the Robinsons. At the same time, she's just, like I said, she's a survivor. And again, I don't think the men character were cut short. I think sure that the women, again, Maureen Robinson, played by Marley Parker, is, she's a force on this show for sure, and I think so are the kids. But I don't think it takes away from Toby Stephens, because I think Toby Stephens, you can tell that he loves his family, and he wants to try to, he doesn't want to lose his family, and you can tell that. And I think he's vulnerable, and I like that in the character. And like I said, the old show, Maureen Robinson, let's face it, she was like June Cleaver of space. She never did anything, okay? She just worried about her kids, worried about her husband and everybody else, but she never really did anything. So at least on this show, this Maureen Robinson, she actually does stuff, okay? She's she's smart. She actually, she's involved in stuff. So I don't mind that change at all. And again, the character of Don West, I like that actor. I think the actor totally sells that he's just, he's this lovable rogue, and he plays it really well. So I think his part was really good as well too. And again, I like the young actor that played Will Robinson. I thought he was really good. You really felt for his character. Again, and there's a moment in there where you see when they were testing to go on the ship, his mother, he actually was so nervous that he actually failed the test. But his mother, doing what she had to do to, she wanted her family together. She does what she has to do, and she basically, has his test changed to pass, so so everybody can go along on the trip, to colonize. Because if he didn't, he would have to stay behind. And again, that shows again, the mother, she cares about the family, okay. And even though she is estranged from her husband, you can tell there's still love there, and there's great moments in that moment. That like there's that moment. There's a moment. I think episode 8. I think it is. Might be 8. I think it's episode 8 where the husband and Maureen and John get stuck in this tar pit, and the Jupiter little truck there, and it sinks, and they're basically gonna get overwhelmed. But then John Robinson figured out, hey, listen, I can blow the hatch, and put her on the, put her in the suit, and she can survive. And then he's basically willing to sacrifice himself for his family, and he's about to do it. And I thought for a minute his character was going to die, but then and then she figures out a different way for them to, to escape, and again just showing the strong, connection that the family has, and I really enjoyed that a lot. And again, I loved the connection because there's a moment where John Robinson, I think he's talking to Don West, and he's explaining to him how, how he loves his family, and how even though, Taylor Russell, who's, let's say she's half black and, half white, and I'm assuming they didn't go into detail about who her real father is, but John Robinson says, so even he tells, Don West that even though she's not my biological daughter, she's the most like me because she's fearless, and she's always, willing to take a challenge. And he's basically describing his kids to him, and you can tell that love that they have for each other. And I love the show at all. I can't wait for season 2. Again, the way the show ends was great to me. Like I said, they discover this. I think it's like this. They have a thing where they go to, basically they find another crashed vehicle that they can take fuel from to get off the planet with the other survivors. And of course there's an accident, and the truck literally falls on the guy, and they actually sacrifice some of the fuel to get him out. And then of course there's not enough fuel for them to get off, and then they have to come up with an alternate plan to strip one of the Jupiters and just send 2 people up on it. It's going to be John Robinson and Don Robinson, and John Robinson and Don West. Going to have them do that and see if they can get up to the mother to the mothership. But then something with that happens, goes wacky, and then they discover this energy fuel with these rocks that they found in this cave, and so everybody can get off the planet. And then of course something else goes wrong, because again, like I said, there's incidents with the robot, okay, which of course the people are scared of the robot, because that's the robot that caused the incident on the mothership. And he started basically just killing people left and right. And then you find out later that you find out later that they stole the technology. Whoever's in charge of that the colonization, they stole that technology, that alien technology, wherever it's from, and that robot was a part of that technology, okay. And there's a great moment in there where Will Robinson, he actually sacrifices the robot, because when they find out what the robot, that the robot has killed people, and Will Robinson figures that he has to sacrifice the robot, even though that robot is like his best friend. He makes it fall off a cliff, and it falls into a million pieces, and he's of course devastated by that. And then of course the scheming Dr. Smith, she gathers the parts together, and she actually gets the robot rebuilt again, and has the robot listening to her commands. And it's just, again, Parker Posey, I liked her character. She was a schemer, and just one of those characters that you just wanted to get her comeuppance. And the way it ends with her, I think people will like that. The way when it ends with her, she's still on the ship, her character, and she's still scheming. And with the way that she has like this gift of gab, that even though they have her locked up, that somehow she's going to talk her way out of that cell. But the show ends with them, rescuing, Don West and the father, and they're getting ready to go to the mothership, when actually they get sucked up. I think they get sucked up into this black hole, which takes them to the planet where you think it's where the robot came from. Because you say at the end where Will Robinson, once they get to where they, I guess they go through light speed through the black hole, and they get where they are, and then that's when Will Robinson says, "This is danger." They ask, where we are, and they go, "This is danger," because the robot had this drawing, and he said, "Danger, Will Robinson," and so now and we always thought that meant danger. There's it's going to be danger. He's a dangerous situation, but actually the robot was trying to tell Will Robinson that that's where he comes from, danger, and I guess that's supposed to be the planet where he comes from, danger. But anyway. So that's it's going to be, I guess, for season 2, with them being they're actually going to be lost, because now you have the full crew together. You have the Robinsons family, you have Don West on there, and you have Dr. Smith or June Harris all together on the same ship, Okay, so and now they're truly lost because they went through the black hole light years away, and they're literally lost in space and near this robot planet, and not knowing what they're going to find. So again, I liked the show a lot. The special effects of the show looked actually breathtakingly beautiful, and I liked it a lot. So, and I gave it an 8 out of 10. I can't wait to see a second season. Hopefully, that will happen in either late 2019 or maybe early 2020. I hope, but I definitely want to see a second season. I love the cast. I love the again, they put money into the show because it looks absolutely breathtaking. Okay, and I like the way it was written. Okay, I like the cast. Anyway, let me know what you think of Lost in Space. If you've seen it, the Netflix series, have you seen it? What do you think of it? And what do you rate it? And let me know what you think. Are you looking forward to a second season? Anyway, let me know. Feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram in the description box, as well as my other channel, my main channel, Trey Pastor. Please check that out as well. And this is Paul saying so long and take care.